Woo. Chittenden Lake, Edenbridge Angling Club today. Been here, Richard tells me this is the 4th time we've done this. And this is actually the lowest the water level's been. Because normally it's over the tops of the swims. There's lots of fish in here. And yeah, it's really good. I mean, the club it's a strong club. It's got a good membership. It's only cheap, like nearly all clubs. And this would be like your standard. You wouldn't struggle to catch fish in here. Loads of silvers, loads of carp. And yeah, it's quite pretty. It's quite long. We do it in sections because there's an island either end. And yeah, we're just going to do what we normally do. But it's quite good because normally you're struggling around some of these margins. Because, like I say, when I've done it before, the water's been over these banks sometimes. What I like about here is, because quite a lot of the anglers fish for cats, they've got a lot of these big mats, which is great. Like I say, before I've done it, the water's up here, and these have been floating around. They're actually really, really useful because some of the cats in here are very big. But yeah, got a nice lot of willows. Looks really pretty in the summer. And we just take it out in sections. Richard, who is a fishery manager, he's a sensible guy. Don't take no mucking around. And he's always got this sort of stuff set up, good aeration set up. Like most places over the summer, struggle with a bit of, obviously mainly low water in here. It goes from low to high, so it's low oxygen, but there's a little island through there. It's like a little spit island, and then it goes up, and there's another little channel up there. But in net's okay. Quite a lot of fish, and quite often, even when it's cold, we catch an awful lot of fish up this end. But yeah. Yesterday we had Carl Smith with us. I'm sure at some point you'll see one of his amazing edits with us electrofishing a very different water than this. It was another one the club own, but it's very different. It's quite unique, quite exciting. We'll be doing some more work up there, and then Carl's coming out with us again, hopefully before Christmas, to film again a very different syndicate lake in Norfolk, which is very close to my heart. I've been helping develop that for many years with the owner. So this end up here, I do love weeping willows. Yeah, so that end up there, we basically, first things first, 200 metres of fine mesh on the boat, and then a couple of stop nets. Put a stop net across both sides of this island, and then we go out, round, all the way along there. Round there's a little spit. We can walk in that tiny little channel there. Then we land it just there, pull it round the island. It's all about the angles. Put it into there. Quite often we've caught more carp in that section there than anywhere else in the lake, because everyone thinks, oh, they must be separated, and it doesn't really seem to matter in here so much about temperature. This is the first day, it's a frost, and as soon as you get your first frost or two, everyone thinks, oh, it must be cold, but obviously the water takes a lot longer to cool down. So I still reckon the water was 11-ish degrees, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's good. And then we do this section, put it in. 200 metres goes all the way around and round and round, but it means we have to just, if we only use 100 and try and push it, we're trying to drag a lot of net down there, and when there's a lot of fish, you just lose more around this little island. It's very snaggy in there. Anyway, pull that in, grade fish, and then they take tiny little silvers out and put them in a little tiny pond behind, and cormorants eat quite a few of them. But it does create space for the better quality silvers, which hopefully we'll be able to show you today, because as a result of removing quite a lot of small fish, we should see some better quality ones. Cormorants nail them, unfortunately. There should be a load of bream this big, but that is perfect cormorant size, so we'll see. So yeah, it's nice and cold, brisk morning, and then we do 1, 2, 3 big sweeps on here. Grade, sort fish, put them back, clean all the kit off, disinfect the kit, go back. We're staying locally tonight. Then tomorrow we do Nursery Fields, which is one of my favourite. I say that a lot, but you know, I've got lakes I'm not particularly fond of. But Nursery Fields is great. If I lived anywhere near here, I'd spend all my time on there. There's some big perch, some big crucians, quite a few big tench, some beautiful big carp, and some beautiful big common carp in there as well. And it's just nice, and they maintain it. You know, it could have easily gone badly wrong there, because it's got a long strip island down the middle. It's long, it's probably as long as this one, with a long island down the middle. And if they'd just left it and let everything grow up to the, I mean, you'll see tomorrow. I think I've videoed it before, but yeah, there's a big difference between just leaving it and letting it all get dark and dingy and every single leaf's fallen in for years and years and years. They'd have really struggled if they'd have let that happen. Luckily, Richard gets things sorted. I think he does a lot of it himself, a small team of people. Really needs some juniors helping out. So if you're local to Edenbridge area in Kent, go and speak to him and see what you can do, because it's a great club and they don't mind getting stuck in. And we just like to help out clubs like that because it shows they're caring about the future of the fishery and fishing itself, instead of just wondering what they can catch on a day-to-day basis. So we're just getting the nets sewed up and put on the boat, and then we'll make a start. I don't like this camera as much as the others because it's hard to turn on and off with my gloves on. So this is Ben. Ben's the new guy.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Ben.
My name is Jeff.
Good film. So what are we doing here today, Matthew?
We are here to remove lots of silvers and hopefully catch a few nice carp to show the clients what they got.
Yeah.
Show them that they're all right.
What are you doing now?
We are joining 200-metre fine mesh nets together, and then we're going to go and shoot it. And we're going to do some big frog leaping 200-metre sweeps today.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to catch a lot of fish.
I think we should catch quite a lot of fish.
Yeah, I reckon we'll be all right.
And we're going to stay warm doing it.
Yeah, we're going to stay dry today.
Yeah.
Try to.
So it's quite a big lake. Do 3 200-metre sections, and this top end, it's the 4th time we've done it, and we normally catch more big fish up this end. Plenty in here, good stock of fish, but it'll be interesting today because it's only just got cold. Last night was the first frost, so always remember we normally catch more big carp and catch up this end than we do down there. I mean, there's plenty everywhere, but just traditionally we've always had more this end, so it'll be interesting to see as it's warmer, or been warmer, what we catch. But it's nice. Plenty of plants. Plenty of weeping willows. You always get to see these places in the winter, but it looks real nice down here in the summer. Nice margins. But they put a lot of work into it, keeping everything tidy, and it does flood as well. But yeah, it's good. So yeah, from the stop nets up to that end, navigate around the island. Underneath there is a huge volume of big catfish and big carp and bigger bream. And out here there's lots of tiny bream and roach, of which there is in abundance. It's a serious net full of fish, that. But once again, if you don't use these nets properly and have the fine mesh, you're going to struggle to catch them. Right, don't let that float line drop now, because we want these little silvers out. We probably try and get that massive cat out first, to be fair.
He's got to be up there, yeah.
We net them in France big, and that's big.
It is.
That's good work, chaps. Well done.
Yeah. Right, let's let this dinosaur go.
Well, I'm glad it is.
I think there is another one that's not quite.
Good work.
Oh, there we go. Well done, Al.
good. So, oh. Yeah, that should be 60 anyway. So yeah, that was a big sweep up the end. It was worth using a 200 metre because, like I say, if you cut yourself too short, either trying to be lazy or you just haven't got the kit. A lot of the time people have, I never get to a job and think I'll use the minimum kit necessary because people will look and go, well, I haven't done that bit, or it's hard enough as it is, you know. Sometimes we make it look easy and sometimes we catch a good percentage of the fish, but lakes like this are tricky anyway. It's relatively shallow, 6-7 foot. It's clay, which is helpful, but when you've got islands and a load of willows and stuff like that, you're never going to catch all of them, and we're here to predominantly have a stock check, yes, but catch tiny fish, so you've got to use a fine mesh. But like little things like putting these barriers across and then we leapfrog them and put them all down there, there's still 300 metres of net out there, and I'm going to pick this one up and drop it in. But that was a very good net full of fish, lots of bream, lots of carp, lots of cats, and it shows good stock progression, which is what we're here for every year. So yeah, it's basically well worth doing. I'm just going to pick this little net up now, put it away because I don't need it now, and then we've got 200 there to pull in and another 100 round the corner. Landed this other net, another 200 metre sweep, and we've caught a serious amount of tiny bream again, which is good. So many of these, and you just don't catch them with anything bigger. 14mm mesh net will catch that big and above, but we always use as fine a mesh as possible for this exact reason, because you don't even know afterwards you're in here until you do this. It makes a big difference for the following year. It really does. Crazy. So we've put bins and bins and bins of quality bream back, all different year classes, showing really good progression of the bream stock. Bin full of the stacks of these 10-inch fish. It's all good. Lots of fish today. Good though. The club is starting to see good gains on the breams, which is good. When we do jobs like this, I've just said to some of them, because last time we did it, all the time before, I might have videoed it, up that end we caught like the most carp I've ever caught in is 200 and something. And today we caught about 100, I expect. By the time we took them out on these, wasn't many in this end, but they're here. But like I say, we've got to prioritise what is the job for the day. And the job today is taking out as many of those tiny silvers as we can, because they can cause problems the next year in shallow lakes like this. So that's the priority. So it's nice to see a few of the carp and the cats and stuff, but the priority is to nail as many small fish as we can. And people say, yeah, but if you're losing the carp, you're losing the tiny fish. But when you're splashing the margins, like that channel, there's a tiny channel around the back up there, and it's a tiny channel, it's about 20 meters long, and the banks are really undercut. And when you walk along there, you can feel if they're tiny fish, it feels like it's raining on your legs. Hailstones, really, because it's just constant battering. And you don't feel that in those undercuts because there's so many big fish under there. Now, you can chase a few of them out, but you don't understand how many will sit in areas like that. And it's the same when you're going along the margins and under the trees, and the little tiny ones will live in reed beds and stuff, but the bigger fish will sit under snags. And yeah, you can move a few out with your legs and stuff, but like I say, ultimately, you know, you got the daylight hours to catch as many fish as you can. So if the job today, I was just explaining to guys, if the job today was catching as many carp and catfish as possible, we'd still shoot nets, but then it's a lot more labour intensive. You go around the margins, you electrofish, you keep doing more sort of smaller sweeps, but like all these banks are all undercut. And although when we're walking around the banks, you're kicking underneath there, making sure there's no little fish. That's the priority. So, you know, if you've got a lake and you say, right, I want all the carp out, I want as many carp out as I can, then we approach it different. And obviously it depends on the topography of the lake, it depends on the size and the shape and all that sort of stuff. We're never short of kit, but sometimes you're a bit short on time to do as much as you possibly can. And then obviously, you know, to be honest, if you want to take all the carp out of a lake like this, you want to lower the water. You'd drain the water by 3-4 foot, and then you'd absolutely nail them because there's nowhere for them to hide. But it's all good. But today's been great. It shows good progression on all the bream. So many nice bream in here, and to start seeing a few younger carp coming through. It's good. Oh yeah, that's the biggest common of the day. Yeah.
It's up there, isn't it?
It's a really nice common, yeah.
Oh, lovely mouth on it as well.
Yeah. Good. That's 2, 4, I don't know, 500 odd metres net pull today. Couple of £1,000, £2,500 worth of fish caught total, I expect. So good fish back. Now we just clean everything off, chuck a bit of Ercon around in all the bins, get clean off ourselves, go and have some food, early night, and then we come and do it all again 10 minutes up the road at Nursery Field, which is different. It's Long Island down the middle, and then we do lots of sweeps and keep leapfrogging the nets and hopefully catch some nice fish there. I'll show you what we're going to do tomorrow. So today we're at Nursery Fields. I like it here. Excuse me for being out of breath. I got here, the boys went to Greg's to get coffee. I got here just minute after 7 AM and it was pretty dark. We like getting on site as early as possible anyway. Just A, because we've got a lot to do, and B, you want to get home and clean up afterwards. And they're long days anyway, whatever you do. But The difference is, on lakes like this, we know it's tricky because of the amount of loads of lily pads, loads of places for fish to hide. Most of the banks are undercut, and we're trying to catch silvers. And normally what we do is we set up loads of lanes and we leapfrog nets. It takes a long time, there's a lot of sweeps. This morning, before it was getting light, really, just getting a little bit light, this whole end was busy with small fish topping. And I did a lap while I was waiting for the others, and there was no signs anywhere else apart from this section. A bit like going fishing, really. And this whole 250 metre section had fish in it. So I said to the boys, normally, instead of doing what we normally do, we could end up scaring them. We'll just sod that. We'll just put 200 metres in and just attack this end first. There's a lot of lilies in the way, so I've pulled a lot of lily leaves out once I've shot the net. Getting the net ends first is important. So once I've done that, I've then gone inside the net once we know we've got them trapped, if they're there, because you don't really know. And then I've gone back over with the boat. And all you're trying to do really is take the stems off. You can't, because it's quite deep out there. So I just took a load of stems off by hand, just in the boat, while the boys have started pulling this down here. And the main reason I'm doing that isn't so much that they'll lift the net, is the fact that obviously lilies, anything, it accumulates debris. So trees that fall off, branches that fall off, if they're drifting down the lake, they'll accumulate in those lily roots in the surface. That's what will bugger the net up more than the actual lilies themselves. And I can cut the lead through the pads and cut over them because they're, you know, it's getting cold now, so they're sort of dying out a bit. But anyway, it's always a bit nerve-wracking because, you know, there's a lot of places for the fish to hide. But we got the 200 metre netting, cut it through the lily pads, and then we caught this. Do you reckon it's alright?
Do you want coffee yet?
Yeah. So it's taken out realistically about 300 pounds plus of tiny fish, which just go in a little stop on there. And then this is why we're doing it. Over the last few years, the more we do this, the better quality fish we're putting back. That's what it's all about. Yes, there's carp in here, but the quality of the silvers just keeps improving as a result of doing this. Pretty straightforward, but so we've had a result this morning. And we've graded these, so all these quality fish go back in every time. Nice mix of roach and bream and some rudd. There is some carp in the net, we'll show you in a minute, but that's what it's all about. In the snow. How you getting on, Ben? Cold?
No, I'm boiling.
How you getting on, Chip?
Get there, mate.
Getting there? Yeah, we've had a result catching these this morning. Right result.
Right, mate, how's it going?
I knew you would go for that one straight away.
Look at that! Oi! I've never seen that one before.
Really nice.
They are there. They are there. It's not far.
No, it's not.
It really isn't far. There's another one. The other is
This one's the one.
oh, wait, look at that.
Told you, mint combines, mate. They're really special. They are. It's so clean.
Crystal, not an argueless in sight. Look at it.
There's a carving.
Proportion is just amazing.
It does get natural power in it.
Quality that is.
Oh, mate, here you go, Ant. Big for me.
Yeah.
Like that. Leave it in there so they can just pull the car out and then just pull it up a little bit higher if you can. I'm kneeling on in that handle.
That's all right. Look at that. That's a hell of a lot of big fish.
Such a float.
Wow.
You got to say what?
Proper mixed fishery. You can't beat a club water that genuinely has got a good mix of tench, bream, roach, crucians, carp. There really is everything in here. Fair play. There's a lot of tench. You know there's a lot of tench when you're seeing them off the bottom because there'll be more underneath.
Very clean.
Very impressive, that is. That
Big
is.
for them.
Ah, there's a cut down there. Yeah.
Something out the dome grows. I feel that bass. Watching all the light moves upon your face. It's like a dream. The music waves inside of me. Yeah, you go up and I go down. The beat goes right, no space inside. Yeah, you go up and I go down, and we go round and round and round. Yeah, we go round. Yeah, we go round.
They're lovely, isn't they?
The club should be really pleased because you're achieving something quite decent with this lake. It really is a beautiful mixed fishery.
Very good.
Get a picture.
Right, hang on. Got to get a picture.
He's going to find another car. Yeah, I've got a nice mirror.
Okay.
Seen that one?
That one there.
That's heavier, isn't it?
That one there came out yesterday. Came out yesterday. Weighed yesterday 32.
Yeah, that is definitely.
32, do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd say it's all every bit of it.
Hang on, let's get a photo.
Can you do another sweep? Because he was late this morning, so we had to come and do this so you could see
He
these.
thought he was going to get home.
How on earth do you know?
We're a sad bunch, fishermen. Real sad. We ain't got much else going on in our lives.
Oh, what a surprise. More tension. Tension.
Any more carp?
Can you leave the bigger silver bits in
Yeah.
there for a minute? And just, you take some of them little ones off the top. That's okay.
Bubble.
Hey!
Have a photo.
Ali, you've got to hold it.
I'm not touching it. I never caught a bubble, that's not the first one I've done.
Oh, right, okay.
That's nothing good.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I can't pull that because it's...
We had that, Ren. No, it's got more silver on it, that one. The other one was more blue.
For the nails under it.
Control your fish, please, sir.
No other big carp in there, is there?
No, not all about that size if any left. Do us a favour, Matt, get out of it. Get out of it.
I think if you got the big ones out, let me scoop the small ones. Try and pull that bit up so I can see these tiny. Lot of tench again, Rich.
Is that all the carp out there?
I think so.
Any more skimmers under that lot?
Mainly tiny fish. Yeah, there is a few big bream and there's a couple of eyed, more tench. Really quite decent. Right, okay, let's get these little ones out. Oh, that was mad. Really mad. I've been coming to this club for I think 4 years now, and Richard Leopard, who's the main guy there. There's a team of guys, but he's the one who's got us involved, and just gets us to net the lakes. They've got obviously the 2 lakes, well 3 lakes we've done this week, and every year we've seen stock progression, which is what it's all about. And today we caught the most fish we've caught out of Nursery Fields, which is the one I like the most because it's a real genuine mixed fishery. It's you know, a lot of clubs strive for that sort of thing where you can have a nice mix of all species, and that's exactly what they've got there. Serious good stocks of all species, and they put a lot of work into it, and a combination of doing a bit of tree work, a bit of chalking, netting it because it's very prolific again, and just reducing the volume of small fish because they just repopulate, you know. And at the start Richard struggled a bit with convincing people what needed to happen, and but it's results, you know. You can't deny what happens when, and it's not just a case of one thing. It's not like we go in and wave a magic wand and suddenly everything's okay. We can advise and say, look, these are the jobs I prioritise, this is what I do, X, Y and Z, and every water is different. It's very difficult to generalise, so it's not just about one thing, like I keep saying. But when they do a lot of like little things like strimming the islands down, keeping the islands clear, doing a bit of pollarding, bit of tree work, bit of chalking. I'm gonna crash into this car. Yeah. And all those things added together, that's how you get results. If all your club's doing is getting to the AGM, and when they got a few quid, they just buy more fish because they think it'll get you more bites. I'm sorry, but that's not what we see improves fisheries. It just doesn't. You always get that initial hit where new fish get caught, but you know, a concise plan moving forward and putting the graft in, it's not easy. I mean, it's hard work. It's snowing earlier and we're cold and wet, and you know, we've got 3 hours to get home now if there's no traffic on the motorways. But all of those things combined, that's when you get results. And clubs like that deserve it because they put the effort in, basically. That's what it boils down to. If you're willing to put the effort in and all work together, you can achieve quite amazing things. And to have a mixed fishery like that, I mean, yesterday at Chittenden when we caught the big cats and carp, you know, it serves a purpose for the anglers that want to fish there, but also the progression of the bream stocks in there is quite phenomenal, really. I've probably got footage somewhere online of what it was like when we first went, but just to see the differences in all their waters, it's impressive. This was our 4th week into the start of the season, and we've already seen crazy mild weather. We were in t-shirts last week, and then today it's snowing and much colder, and narrow roads. And the guy just showed us a picture of Horsham, which is about 45 minutes away from here, and there's it's laying snow. You know, there's lots of snow around. And again, you know, with all this change, and all right, it's winters, it's changeable weather, but that plays a big part in not only how fish react and behave, but also how you should be managing your fisheries. You know, it's you've got to. It's unpredictable, and you've got to allow for that. You know, you've got to have aeration ready, and you've got to be addressing the real core issues, which are the same for everybody. It's increased siltation, you know, and if you're not putting any work in, you're gonna have problems. How far you push those problems down the road, if you care or not, and if you just want, you know, it's a bit like if you're on a committee. If you're an aged committee and you just think, well, I won't care because by the time I'm old enough, you know, whatever. Fine, but then the next generation who are coming in, and it's harder to get people to come in now, and you know, younger kids to be on committees and stuff and put the same amount of effort in, just because it's a different world we live in, different times, you know. So the people that appreciate that and put the effort in get the rewards, and I'm still passionate about it after all these years, and a lot of people are, thankfully. But when you go and do a job like that and you see what can be achieved without buying any fish, you know, just by sensibly managing your fisheries, you can achieve whatever you want. I've always said the same thing. You can have whatever fish you want in your lake. The fish do the work themselves if you let them. If you address the environment, if you address all the important stuff, and don't try and please every single angler, because a lot of them, you know, no disrespect, but if you let a lot of anglers run these places, nothing ever changes. You know, they might have a nice glossy pamphlet at the end of the year, but if you've spent all your money on that and you haven't even bothered to go down and test the oxygen or do a bit of tree work or whatever needs doing, really, then you're only one bad season away from a catastrophe. So I like coming to places like this, and it helps when, I mean, Richard cares about it. You know, he does a lot of work, and he strives and pushes and sticks to his guns, and you have to be like that. You know, a lot of the best private fishery we work at are lakes where the owner has got a vision and they stick to it. Anglers are fickle. Anglers will leave, but anglers always come back. I never worry. I always say I'd rather upset a few anglers and have a load of dead fish. Right or wrong, but that's how I've always run the business, really. You know, you can't cater for a lot of people's opinions when it comes to what they're doing with your business or your fishery. And as an angling club, all your job is, it's a bit like government, really. You should put the lake first and the fish that swim in it first, and then as long as you're doing right by them, everything else falls into place. And it does, and it works. So yeah, I'm gonna go home now and have a sleep.